welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Natalie Megan and this is Weirdo Book Club. Today we are outside. How exciting. You're gonna hear some tree noises, wind blowing, cars, birds, whatever, because we're outside and I don't have a microphone. I just have you. But you know what? I wanted to do my work outside today, so that's what I'm doing. So you know where we're at, but what are we doing? What are we up to? Why am I outside and what am I here to talk to you about today? Well, I'm glad that you asked. Scooch in. Today I am going to be walking you through my curriculum, my seasonal curriculum that I've come up with. So a few days ago on TikTok, actually it's probably been a week, I've been sick, I don't know. I started seeing these videos from creators on my For You page talking about building themselves a curriculum, like building a monthly curriculum, and I just knew that I wanted to do this. I love a little activity, I love a craft, I love any excuse to make a graphic or a plan or a list. I love it. And so when I saw these creators sharing like what they're focusing on, the things that they're teaching themselves, the things that they're learning, I was like, oh yes, sign me up. Because I mean, I'm an eldest daughter, I'm a Capricorn, I'm an earth sign, and I am a person who deeply loved school. I loved school, from getting my supplies to getting the syllabus to figuring out what I'm gonna do my reports on. Like I really loved the structure. So for all of those reasons, I thought this would be a great thing to do. But also I have been trying to be more intentional, more structured with like my media consumption and what I'm doing and what I'm up to and how I'm exerting myself in my day-to-day life. I did link a couple of the other creators that I saw sharing their curriculums below if you want to check them out. I've watched them. I'm still watching them. I'm taking it all in. And in that process, I came out with what I'm about to share with you, which is my curriculum. Now, I tweaked it a little bit to fit me, my life, my taste, my goals, things like that. And I also switched it from a monthly curriculum to a seasonal curriculum. So it's more like a term, like a semester, fall semester, spring semester kind of thing. It feels more academic that way, but it also gives me a little breathing room because life is weird and things happen and I don't want to cage myself in too tightly, and I know myself well enough to know that that doesn't ever really go well, so I wanted to give myself a little bit more grace and it felt much better to space it out, so that's what I did. Here is the breakdown, the overview and the breakdown of my fall semester curriculum. This will span September, October, and November. So my first course is AV Club, and I always wanted to be in the AV Club, from film to podcasts to editing and, you know, learning new software and music and movies, video games, all things media. So my objective for AV Club is to rediscover and share my love of physical media and try something new in the form of interviewing an author for my channel. So among other things, this is like a little like snippet, okay, but on my watch list we have the movie About Time, which a friend of mine sent me a copy saying that she just knows that I'll love it. She loves it and she wants me to watch it. I also set up my DVD VCR combo upstairs, and I will be watching VHSs and doing movie nights in my Discord for people and myself, honestly, because I recently just acquired a physical copy of Spice World on VHS. This is one of my great loves of all time, and when I received it the other day, I tried to pop it in and sit down and have a fun little time with it, but I ended up weeping. So I'm gonna have to do a couple of like test runs before we do a movie night on it, because I don't want to just be sobbing through the whole thing. And then last but not least, I want to start watching some scary movies because this is the fall semester, so we're going to bleed into spooky season, and I want to amp up the energy and the anticipation and the excitement around spooky season, which is my favorite season, and start watching some spooky movies. I have Halloween on VHS, I have Night of the Living Dead on VHS, and so I want to get into the spooky season and the holiday spirit with you guys via my AV Club. As far as the interview goes, it's going to be me interviewing Ronlyn Domingue, who is the author of my favorite book of all time, The Mercy of Thin Air. There's a dog that's about to send me over the edge. This is why I like cats. Okay, so the next course I'm taking is community. And the objective here is to really just lean into community, whether that's online or in real life, whether it's through like fundraising or putting a little free library in my yard or getting my library card and volunteering on the library board, like something like that to feel more connected in the community. So first up on this list is I have a library board meeting that I was invited to attend. I met this lovely person at a local museum here, and they were talking about the little free library they have at the museum, and they were talking about all these things that they do, and my kids were like, my mom reads a lot, and so we got to talking, and she was like, you need to come to this board meeting, we need more board members. And I was like, ugh, I don't know if I'm an in real person kind of gal. And then my kids and my uncle who was there, just like, she'd be great at that. I'm like, shh. But I think it's a great thing that I'm going to at least try. I'm going to try and see how it goes. I think it could be really fun. I think it could be really invigorating to get involved in books in a real, like, tangible IRL way and kind of give back to my community in a way. So I think that's perfect for this course. My next item is Bindery Con in New York City, October 14th. That's right, folks. I'm coming to New York and I'm making it everybody in the local vicinity's problem. I will be there with Rachel. It is going to be very fun and it is going to be exciting to be there to celebrate the fall releases of 2025's Bindery imprints. I love doing in real life events. I don't do a lot of them because I don't think I know a lot of them and I'm really bad at planning, but I really am excited about this one. I'm excited to be there and be there for the releases and everything, of course, but like a lot of my friends are releasing titles with Bindery this season and I really like watching and cheering on my friends as they do cool things. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Look out for us if you're in New York. And the last thing is the hashtag Read for Palestine from September 1st to 30th. This is a fundraiser in an attempt to raise money for Palestinian relief in Gaza. And it was, I have the people who facilitated it or started it linked down below so you can keep up or maybe get involved or donate. I have pledged $2 per book that I finish in September, and I'm hoping to at least finish 10. I'm a little behind and I'm going a lot slower this year, but you know what? If I don't make it, then I'll just donate the money anyway, whatever. If you don't want to, sign up for anything like that, you can donate a lump sum. I have that linked below. If you're not able to donate at all, that's okay. Times are hard, but sharing the message and spreading the word is free. So please do that. All the links are below and we would really appreciate it. And I'm excited to read for a good cause. Free Palestine always. So next up is kind of a simpler one because I don't really have a lot of expectations in it, but I wanted to try it because it is something that I have found joy in the past, and it is my creative writing course. And the objective of this one is to just kind of maybe rekindle a love of creative writing and do like little prompts and share them and share my writing. People always ask like, well, if you hate this book so much, why don't you write one? That sounds hard, one. And two, I probably could if I tried. And I want to know if that's true. I'm not going to write a whole novel or anything, but we might have some fun together as I explore some creative prompts and just try some new things. So my first writing exercise, I'm gonna add some as I find them, but this is the first one that caused me to make this course just from the get, is reworking a story that I wrote in 3rd grade called The Tale of the Computer Monster. So I was about 9 years old and I brought home a printed out story and my mom put it in my baby book, and that's the only reason that I know that it exists. And it was called The Tale of the Computer Monster, and it is a story about a young boy who gets sucked into his family computer. And it is rough because I was 9, but honestly I think it has good bones. I moved to a small town and think it's going to be quieter, and it's actually so much louder. Anyway, I wrote this short story when I was 9. It's not very good, and I thought it would be funny if I read it out loud and kind of like roasted my own writing. But then I thought maybe make it a part of this course in my curriculum that I'm building. And since we're seeing a theme of people working on projects that they've written in elementary school and thinking that they should push them to publication, I thought I would jump on. Why not? I mean, everybody else seems to think that that's a good idea. Why can't The Tale of the Computer Monster take off? There's really no reason that it can't. As long as I have the wherewithal and the gumption and the gall and the audacity, I can do anything through my Lord God Jesus who gives me strength. I also want to do like maybe some dream journaling, not necessarily journaling, but like when I have dreams, they're usually pretty vivid and outrageously wild. They're just so bizarre. And I want to be able to like write them down and kind of rework them into some sort of a story. I've done that before. I had this dream where I was drowning and it was so immersive and it felt so real that I woke up and I wrote it down and it became a pretty cool little short story. Maybe I'll share that with you, but like you get the idea. I want to see if I got the chops to practice what I preach and deliver good pieces of writing. So we'll see. Next, and probably the one that I'm most excited about because I've been doing this anyway and now I'm just going to make it part of the curriculum. I am doing a culinary course. And so the objective is to learn and expand my cooking skills and abilities, and also like learn staples within the kitchen and specific things that I want to be able to cook and make for my family. I want to learn how to do them. I was thinking about this the other day that like I'm running out of people. When you get older, you start to lose people. People die, people pass away. I was thinking about how like when my kids go away to college and they come home for like the holidays. What the hell am I supposed to do? Like, I don't know how to make a lot of things. So I'm going to learn. And so for my autumn semester, my two objectives, I just have two because cooking can be kind of, I want to learn how to make butter chicken and garlic naan, an Indian dish that I really love. And we moved to a place with no freaking Indian restaurants. And so I'm going to make it myself. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do it. And then the second one is I want to create the perfect macaroni and cheese. My son has even volunteered to help me on this quest because I think he is invested in the outcome as well. But I also, in the theme of like, I'm going to host a holiday meal here this year. And I'm excited about that, but I'm also nervous because like I said, I don't know how to do any of this stuff. But at the top of the priorities list when it comes to making a meal like that for me is the mac and cheese. So I want to perfect my recipe before the time comes. So those are my two culinary excursions that I'm going to go on this year. Okay, next up, I have a morbid history course. Yes. And the objective is to explore, obviously, darker sides of history with a focus, okay? I'm focusing this semester on sickness and survival. And what I mean by that is that I want to read books about like plagues, disease, sickness, and I also want to read a couple that highlight victim/survivor voices in a powerful way. So here's my reading list for my morbid history course. First up, we have Everything's Tuberculosis by John Green. I love the way he writes. You can feel his passion. The next one in the vein of sickness is The Ghost Map by Stephen Johnson. I got this rec at BookNet Fest on the nonfiction panel. And so this is the story of London's most terrifying epidemic, cholera, and how it changed science, cities, and the modern world. It sounds really great and it fits with the theme. So I'm really excited to try this one out. Next, we have A Light in the Dark by Kathy Kleiner Rubin. This is a memoir from one of the only confirmed survivors of the serial killer Ted Bundy, and her story that kind of like dials down the sensationalism of how he was this like charming, handsome, debonair, suave killer who like slinked his way into people's lives and then killed them. She kind of challenges that narrative and she tells her story, and I've had this on my shelf for a while and I'm really excited to get to it because there are 1,000 books about Ted Bundy from his perspective or from the perspective of people who were around him or his friends or people who were studying him or interviewing him on death row or what the fuck ever. But I want to hear from someone who survived him. Last but not least, I have a poetry collection called Into the Forest and All the Way Through. I've read this before and I've wanted to run it again. So it's a true crime poetry collection that explores the stories of over 100 murdered or missing women in the United States. Another thing about the survival, the victims being able to speak. And I loved this the first time I read it, and I really want to go back in and review it for you and share it with you. So if you want to join this and read with me, you can. I've put all the book titles below. Now, the last one is a little underwhelming, but it is very important, and it is a phys ed course. We're getting physical, as that song said or something, but not really, because the objective really is just to move my body more. Like I don't have to sit and do the drop and give me 50 kind of thing. I just want to be able to move my body, whether that's like putting music on while I'm doing my chores and dancing through the house, or like hopping on my walking pad while I'm listening to an audiobook and walking for 20 minutes, or running to meet my kids after they get off of school and pick them up on foot and then coming back. That's the objective. And the goal. This bitch is trying to get dead. He's trying to get got. Cats for everyone, please. Anyway, the goal is for me, like the small potatoes goal that I think I can do. I've set up my walking pad in my office and I want to be able to hop on there for like 20 minutes every day. Like, why not? It's right there. I don't have to leave the house. I don't even have to put clothes on if I don't want to, but there is a window and I should probably put clothes on, but I'm just saying, like, there's literally no reason that I shouldn't get on there. So I need to do that. I am trying to be healthier. I'm trying to be more mindful about what I put in my body and the kind of energy that I'm expelling and all of this other stuff. And I feel like this is a nice spot to end my curriculum. So that's my autumn curriculum, my fall semester curriculum. I hope that this is kind of fun. I've had fun, and I'm really excited to explore more of it with you. And like the different courses and the different activities that I'm going to be doing are going to make for great bonus content here. So if you want to keep up with that, whether it's the culinary or the morbid history reading along with me and stuff like that, join my bindery. That's the place that I'm going to be putting all of this stuff. So if you want to keep up with it, or you want access to the graphics that I made and all that stuff, you can find that on my bindery. It's free to join. There are paid options, but you don't have to. And I am so excited to share this with you. And if you make a curriculum, let me know. I want to see it. I want to know what you're studying. I want to know what you're learning. I want to know how you're growing. Thank you for sitting outside with me. I am going to edit a few things and finalize my script for Does It Hurt by H.D. Carlton. Spoiler alert, it does. And yeah, I'm probably gonna go get some more water and just sit out here and enjoy being up here in the trees and stuff. I love you. You don't have to say it back. Wish me luck on my fall semester. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.